have to admit, I've never met anyone quite like me in a boardroom. It's not to say I don't know of any transgender people that hold board positions, but I've never served on a board with one. I've never had a transgender venture capitalist decide whether to fund my company. Of course, as far as I know, there's no one in Congress for me to go chat with about this. So it's pretty unique to be open and serving not just on my boards of my own companies, but to be an outside director brought in because people saw I had value in what I understood about this world, what I understand about artificial intelligence, that frankly outweighs how strange I am, because I think that there's a lot of fear still today, a lot of fear, a lot of a sense of risk in bringing in someone that's different. I think it harms boards at all levels that they aren't willing to embrace people that don't look like they were cut out of a board catalog from 100 years ago. I saw a board of a company recently. If you just thrown mutton chops on it, it looked like it could have been out of the Gilded Age. So, being transgender, openly so, and having the privilege of providing governance and insight to large organizations is still very rare. I know I'm not the only one, but it is an extremely small group. I genuinely understand the fear around coming out. And in fact, I said to people, my wife and I, when we went through this experience ourselves, that you need to make a kind of a decision. You need to push as hard as you can without breaking something crucial in your life. Having said that, being someone like me, someone who's visible, someone who has financial safety and some degree of notoriety, if not popularity, means you have a responsibility. So I would never question anyone's choice about whether they come out or not, but understand that being visible, being a role model for other people is a profound impact on their life. You're not only potentially making your life better if you can push to be open about who you are as quickly as possible, you are signaling to an entire generation of people, starting with your own and pushing through all of the generations afterwards, that being you is right. And we actually here at my lab have new evidence showing exactly that impact. The way that people make choices in their lives and in their careers is fundamentally influenced by seeing that someone like them has also been successful, has also made an impact on the world. You're a role model. And if you can take it, you have to be out. One of the biggest surprises of my life is, as someone that's spent a lot of time on a stage, I have never had someone explicitly say some terrible transphobic or sexist thing to me. But I have had plenty of instances where people clearly didn't understand. Even people that you might think would understand in a deep intrinsic way. I've had gay men come to me and say, "Oh, you're transgender. I've done drag before also." And there's a part of me that's not so thrilled with hearing a story like that, because I've never done drag in my entire life, not even in the sense that they meant in the most positive sense. So there is a lot of presumption. And there are so many times when people say things that are inelegant or just plain stupid. And, there's a moment when you've got to be Jackie Robinson and just sit back and be tougher than they are and take it. be understanding. And there are times when you need to tell people that they're wrong. And it's a hard thing to know those right moments. But it's been part of my experience serving on boards that almost everyone there wants to arrive at a solution that moves their company forward. And while they may have strong opinions that differ from yours, all they really want to know is that you can bring something positive to the table. That doesn't mean they're always going to be elegant or eloquent or even thoughtful when they talk about issues of gender and sexuality. But it means that there's a starting place where you can share an experience. And, you know, what I've learned, one thing is to always let people show who they are first. I once gave a talk in Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur, and at the end of the talk, this old man stood up wearing this all white garb that just in my mind, his big long beard, it screamed Islamic fundamentalism. And I thought this was just going to be the end. This would finally be the time when someone says something terrible. And he said, I read about you before the talk. You're a hero. And that was amazing. Let people live up to your expectations before you attack, before you fall into the pit of drawing the worst out of people. Allow for a chance for education because you're there to serve a purpose. And people that are good at board work understand the importance of setting aside who they are as people and figuring out how best to lead an organization.